Next week, all of the DCTV shows on the CW return with their seasons. After the mid-season break, it has been painful without the shows, but we are finally getting them back. However, in addition to Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Arrow, in fact not Legends, ignore me, that was a mistake there, but in Legends replacement, actually, we'll be getting the CW's new show, Black Lightning. This show has been around for a while now, but is finally releasing next week. Now, one thing I quickly like to mention is just something that came out of the Arrow extended promo. I don't want to make a full video on this just because it's not really that much news, but it does seem that in the mid-season premiere of Arrow Season 6, Diggle will be getting a new suit as Spartan, so I'm assuming this means that Oliver is back as the Green Arrow full-time, which is fine, I suppose. I mean, that story is just kind of dead now, I suppose, but Diggle is getting a new suit, looks kind of cool, not that much different, that much news. So, back to Black Lightning. This video is going to be my preview for Black Lightning Season 1, kind of like the addendum to my prediction series. This isn't going to be a predictions video for Black Lightning Season 1 because we don't have anything to go off of because, of course, we haven't seen any episodes yet. Instead, this is going to be my look ahead at Black Lightning to see what I like, what I don't like, just based on the previews and promos and promotional material that the CW have provided us with. And that's what this video is going to be. So let's jump straight into the preview for Black Lightning Season 1. So first off, the time slot. This show is going to be replacing Legends, at least for a little while. In fact, it's replacing Legends completely, because Legends has moved to Supergirl slot, of course. So Black Lightning is going to be premiering on Tuesday nights at 9, directly after The Flash. So when The Flash Season 4 comes back and has its mid-season premiere, it will be followed directly after by the season premiere of Black Lightning, and this will be its time slot pretty much for the entire season, I believe. So that's all 10 episodes or so. I think this is a good time slot. The Flash, putting it after The Flash is a very smart idea on the CW's part. The Flash is the most popular of the 4 DC TV shows and one of the most popular CW shows. So if they're going to start promoting it in between the breaks of The Flash, when The Flash has its breaks in the episode, they'll start promoting it quite heavily, I believe. And then people watching it will say, yeah, that looks cool, you know, another superhero show on the CW, yeah, I'll give it a watch. And it'll be definitely good for the ratings, I believe. Also, one thing I've really picked up on ever since the first trailer for Black Lightning is the tone. I really like the tone. It's a lot more dark and a lot more grounded in comparison to a lot of the DC TV shows. It's much more in comparison with the early seasons of Arrow. It's very much that kind of dark, grounded, gritty tone, even though it is a bit more superhero-esque than the first couple of seasons of Arrow were. But I really like this tone. It's like a blend of early Arrow and Luke Cage. I really like the tone a lot. Plus, the tone really fits well with what Black Lightning is going to be representing and what it's about, because Black Lightning isn't this big over-the-top superhero show like something like Supergirl or Legends of Tomorrow. Instead, this is going to be focusing on a battle against a gang. A gang which is just running drugs and weapons and things like that. It's nothing over the top or, you know, over the top at all. This isn't, you know, Black Lightning's not necessarily a superhero, he's a vigilante, kind of like how Arrow was, and I really like that a lot. Now, the lead actor of Black Lightning is Cress Williams, and I think he is a brilliant choice for this character. If you just look at the guy, he just oozes charisma. Like, this guy is so charismatic, and I feel that's really going to help him carry this show, if anything else. And I think that he really has that star quality about him, that charm, something that, like, Grant Gustin has as the Flash, you know, and what Melissa Benoist has as Supergirl. They just have that smile, that charm, that's going to make you want to get behind them because they just seem like a good person inside. I feel that Cress Williams is really going to be able to bring a lot of humanity to the role of Jefferson Pierce, and this is good because that's what you would want in your lead character of a superhero show. You want him to be a really good person inside, unless obviously it's a more darker hero, but I feel that having him as a real good guy is going to really help people get behind Black Lightning as a character and as a hero, because he's a pretty unknown character, really. And also the fact in his day job he's a head teacher. I think that's what he really needs. Then in terms of the design, I think the suit, the Black Lightning suit, the modern one, the redone one, is excellent. The CW are sometimes a bit hit and miss with their costumes for their heroes, but Black Lightning I think is one of the best. This is like up there with like Supergirl and Superman's costume. This is really great. It's just, it looks great. The lights look awesome. It looks very heavy. Which I think works for the character quite well. I feel that that suit is really going to just stand out in the dark, and I love that. This is also going to have a very consistent theme of family, as we can see that this is a family show in the sense that Black Lightning has a family who is going to be very prominent within the story. We obviously have Cress Williams playing Black Lightning as the father. We have his wife, who is going to be playing the role of kind of trying to stop him from going back to the life as a vigilante. And then we have his daughters, who are kind of getting involved with the criminal side of it, not to their fault, but also have their own powers. That's interesting. I feel that this theme of family is really going to hit home with many people. It's going to make it a very relatable theme for people to watch the show and get behind it. And I feel that the whole storyline going on with, Jefferson Pierce and his wife, who convinced him to stop being a vigilante and leave the Black Lightning life behind, is going to be a very interesting place, because that is going to provide a lot of conflict between her husband and herself, because he has now gone back to the life. Also, I think we should talk about Thunder and Lightning. Thunder and Lightning are Black Lightning's daughters, and they both have powers. We have seen the suit for Thunder, and I think that suit looks a bit cool and a bit weird. I'm not really a big fan of the goggles, but anytime the CW does like goggles or masks or helmets or anything like that, it always looks weird. I don't know why, it just always does. So other than that, I think that suit looks brilliant. I think it's going to be really cool to see how these girls develop their powers. Sisters are competitive. I know this. I have two older sisters myself, and they were both quite competitive. Not so much anymore, but at least they were. And I feel that this is going to play into the story, because I feel that if they both have powers, one of them is going to be perhaps a bit more reserved and not going to use their powers, whereas the other one is going to be more willing to use the powers. So perhaps Thunder is the one who's willing to go out there and fighting crime, fighting the 100 gang, whereas Lightning is a bit more reserved. I feel like that's going to provide a good conflict between those two characters, or perhaps they'll just try and outdo each other. Also, one thing I really need this show to have is a great villain. I feel that the villain, we haven't really seen much of him. He hasn't impressed me too much, but I feel, that we haven't really seen much of him at all, so I can't really give a full a statement on that. But if this show has a fantastic, great villain, then that's going to set the show up for great villains in the future. Because when you look at, like, Arrow had a great villain in Season 1 with Malcolm Merlin, The Flash had an amazing villain in Season 1 with the Reverse Flash. I feel Black Lightning, if it has a strong villain, that's a good move. And finally, a big question regarding Black Lightning is its overall connection to the Arrowverse as a whole. We have been told that this is not part of the Arrowverse, but I feel that is a lie, at least for now. I feel that Black Lightning is going to be a very separate show from the rest of the Arrowverse, potentially on a different Earth. In fact, I can almost guarantee it's on a different Earth, something like Earth 4 or something like that, an Earth we've never seen before. But eventually, when it comes around to it, when it comes to like the next crossover, we will see him come over. I know a lot of people will be sad about that, about him not being connected to the overall Arrowverse, at least for now, and it saddens me, because it's, that's the whole beauty of the Arrowverse, is that it's all connected. But this is actually a very good thing for the show, at least in its first season, because that means it can be disconnected, doesn't have to worry about lining up with continuity. It can just be its own thing in Season 1, so it can make its own great first season before it starts trying to mix in everything else from the other 4 shows. I feel this is a good move. I mean, it works for Supergirl, it will work for Black Lightning. It's actually a good idea if you think about it. So you guys tell me in the comment section below what you think about Black Lightning. Are you excited for it? Are you not? What do you like? What you don't? Let's get a discussion going about Black Lightning in the comment section below. I am personally very excited for Black Lightning. I have been very excited for it ever since they released the first trailer. I've been constantly impressed by what they've been able to show and deliver with this. I feel it's a very unique superhero show. I feel it's got a good blend of tone and themes. I also really love the lead role. I feel it's just going to be a really great superhero show and a great addition to the Arrowverse eventually. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did, and share it with anyone and everyone you know who loves DCTV, and get them to join the community. Just a quick wrap up, I'm sure a lot of you will ask, will I be doing Black Lightning videos? I'm not too sure yet. I'm going to wait for the season to start before we actually start getting on with it. It's not going to be my main priority just yet, but I'm sure I'll get videos out on it, because I'll want to be talking about it with you guys. So yeah, there will be Black Lightning videos, but I don't know how consistent they'll be just yet. But thank you guys for watching.